Why should a woman follow you if you don't have connection to your own inner GPS system? Why should she follow you? You just like her. What's the difference? So, it's got to be something. In other words, if you're traveling through darkness, right? Turn on the lights. And that's what a man is supposed to be. He's supposed to represent the light. He's supposed to represent, because that's what happens anyway when you give a woman knowledge. You're enlightening her. So you're supposed to lighten the path. She's supposed to be able to trust you for that. And here's my thing to women. If you don't trust me, don't choose me.
Stop right there. Please put that in the chat room. If you don't trust me, don't choose me. Let's let that soak in, because that's good. If you don't trust me, don't choose me. Put that in the chat room, everybody, because I know people are gonna go back and watch this video. If you don't trust me, don't choose me.
That's right.
Put it in the chat room. Let's get that chat room lit up with that statement right there, because let that soak in. Because I think a lot of guys miss that, and a lot of women miss it, because we have a lot of women who watch. If you don't trust me, don't choose me.
Yep.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
That's right. That's real. Because we have a calling on our lives, and sometimes, because there's another thing about protection. They always talk about a man protecting a woman. His protection also comes by way of his warning. It don't have to be I'm breaking out with my 9, like, who fucking with you. Sometimes the protection is, I don't trust your friend and I don't want you hanging with her. Or I don't want you to go to this situation. Aaliyah died on that plane, but she didn't want to get on it. She was adamant about not getting on it. And from my understanding, she had a very bad headache. I think from my understanding, she took a sleeping pill or something. She fell asleep. They carried her on the plane that she died on. She wasn't cognizant. But her inner self was probably like, no, don't do it. We got to trust ourselves. Even if your inner self says, no, don't roll up your sleeve and take that vaccine. Oops, I guess I wasn't supposed to say that. But I'm just saying, whatever your guidance is, trust it. You don't have to argue with nobody else. That's for you. But we have to learn how to trust ourselves. In all important matters, our higher self is trying to guide us anyway.
I think that's key, because I think a lot of people they're looking for, well, they don't trust me. I don't know why nobody trusts me. It's because you never first took the time to trust your own self.
That's key. And then here's my thing too. If I trust myself and I manifest many great things, but you didn't trust me in the process, I don't really know how I feel about letting you come in later and enjoy the fruits. You ain't helped me plant nothing. You see what I'm saying? So, let's go back to that phrase. If you don't trust me, don't choose me. Because I am in this position to lead, and on the scale of understanding, emotion, there's first physical. That's the lowest. Above that is emotion. Above that is intelligence. And above that is emotional intelligence. And a lot of women think that emotional intelligence is the same thing as emotion. It's not. Your emotional intelligence is literally your God voice within you. That ain't got nothing to do with emotion. Now, the doorway to it might be, it is emotion in a man. That's the doorway to it.
Mm-hmm.
In a woman, it's logic.
Say that again. Say
In
that
a
again.
in a woman, the doorway to her God consciousness is logic. In a man, the doorway to his God consciousness is emotion. But emotion is not the same thing as emotional intelligence. It's the doorway. So Morpheus said, I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to open it. So we have to become acquainted with our higher self and do that work. You know, we got to find that door. You know, the third eye. In parts of Africa, they call the third eye the doorway. In India, they call it the third eye. You know what I'm saying? But it's still talking about a connection to, you know, what Deepak Chopra calls pure potentiality, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I think, and that's to the doorway into those different levels and on understanding emotional intelligence only could be cultivated when you do the first pimp rule is when you by yourself.
You got to be by yourself, because forever we came up in the church, and what we always heard in the church is that God speaks to you in a still small voice. That's what we heard, but nobody ever told us what that is. You know what I'm saying? Meditation means to get to know. That's what it means. And so when you quiet yourself, which means there's nobody around, right? And you tap into that inner guidance, that inner voice, that inner self, you know, that's when the magic happens. That's when, you know, that higher consciousness takes place. You know, logic is above emotion, but emotional intelligence is superior to logic.
And I think that's vitally important, because now how does this play in to how a pimp would take this information and apply it to what you're saying?
Because inside of a man is his true bottom bitch.
Whoa. Stop.
You can't make this up.
Say that again.
Inside of a man is his true bottom bitch. And your true bottom bitch is your anima. Your true bottom bitch is your inner feminine. So when I'm faced with an issue with a female, or business, job, situation, whatever the case, investment, my inner feminine, or my bottom bitch, is saying yes or no in whatever the situation is. So regardless of what my outer bottom bitch is saying, right? Sometimes women challenge you just to see what you're going to do. And sometimes your inner bottom bitch will tell you to, in front of all of your hoes, tell that bitch to gather all of her belongings so you can drive her to the train station to drop her ass off and send her on the next thing smoking. Now, she might be your main money maker, but your inner anima, your inner feminine, knows that this is probably a shit test anyway. What you have to show her is that you're serious about the principles that you stand on. And how you show her is your willingness to let that ass go. That's key game.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
You said that's key game right there. Your willingness to let her go. How many of you in the chat room, because we got some people, we got a lot of people watching. How many of you are really willing to let her go? Her does not mean doesn't just mean just a girl. It can be a situation, it could be a problem, it can be whatever. Are you willing to let her go?
Right.
So I don't want you to think, oh, he's misogynist, he's talking about women. No, we talking about the woman, but it can be a situation that you just can't let go.
Right. It could be a job. You know, Robert Kiyosaki was talking about the last check that he got when he worked at Xerox. He was saying that it was a check for $30,000. And he told a coworker that he was going to take that check and go into business, that he was going to quit with that check. And the coworker told him that you're going to do exactly what I did. He said, you're going to take that money